If we have learned nothing else since COVID-19 became a thing, it is this one thing. We don't have control over everything. We don't have control over external circumstances. We don't have control over how often the internet stops working. We have no control over how often the light goes. We have no control over the environment within which we live, because COVID has caused many of us to go home, and some of the home environments, I imagine, were not the best, which was part of what motivated some of you to decide to come to NCU, because it would have been away from your family and away from your parents, away from your siblings, away from your environment. But here's the thing. I have discovered that while we may not be able to change our external circumstances, there's much we can do in creating the kind of internal environment that will allow us to thrive. I can imagine that even before COVID-19 happened, many of you were able to realize that you do have some control over what happens in your mind. You may have had a night when you were up all night doing assignments and you needed to get to school the next day because you either had a presentation or a sectional or just something else. And despite how you felt, you told yourself, you commanded your thoughts that caused you to act in accordance to your thoughts, and you got to school despite how you felt. So the challenge that I'm putting on the table is for you to create an internal environment that will allow you to thrive. How can you do that? For one, even though we're communication students and we're always trying to be in the know, we have a thing where we experience overstimulation based on the different information that we've been feeding ourselves. A lot of us have been feeding ourselves information as it relates to the number of new cases in Jamaica, the number of people who are dying, and all of that. That cannot be good for your mental health. So I'm encouraging you to decrease the amount of time that you spend on social media, decrease the amount of time that you spend watching the news. Have a set time where you engage with this type of information, and after that time has passed, you just leave it alone. I know it may be difficult because in your mind you're saying, I'm a communication student, I have to be aware of everything that's happening right now, but it will matter. So please decrease the amount of time that you engage with the news or any content that affects you in a negative way. I'm also going to challenge you. In DCS, we are very big on affirmation. Just recently, we had our affirmation ceremony where a number of us were awarded for the work that we would have done over the past academic year. And I think it was even more special this time around, given that persons were still able to do well despite COVID coming and just absolutely disrupting our lives. So in keeping with that spirit of affirmation that we generally do, I am challenging everybody in the department, lecturers and students alike. I am challenging all of you to affirm one person each day. Affirm one person each day. Tell them that you think they're very encouraging, you think they're very hardworking, you appreciate the way they show up in classes or they show up at work. Affirm somebody every day until the next general meeting. Affirm yourself. Remind yourself of something that you're good at. Remind yourself of something you believe to be good about yourself. Do that every day, especially if you're in an environment where there are persons telling you all sorts of negatives. You owe it to yourself to tell yourself something positive. That will counteract the negative that you keep on hearing. Affirm yourself. Create the internal environment that will allow you to thrive, especially in a time like this. Decrease your engagement with content that causes you to be in a negative mental space. Affirm someone else, because science shows that when you affirm others, you end up feeling better as a result. And also affirm yourself. I hope these tips were very helpful, and we will seek to just continue developing tips and ideas and strategies that we can share with you for you to improve your mental health, especially during a time like this.